Online/virtual recruitment 101. So my first tip going into sorority recruitment online is your conversations are going to be more crucial than ever, because when you go through recruitment in person, you already don't get a lot of time to get to know each other, and you don't have much to base each other on. Like, and when I say each other, I mean the P&M and the active member, so you and the active member. But when you're on a video call, you're going to have even less to base each other on. So the conversations you're having are going to be even more important. My next tip is to still dress up in the outfits, the appropriate outfits for each day, to do your hair the way you like it and do your makeup the way you like it, because you are going to feel your best when you're dressed your best, and then you're going to be able to really focus and engage in these conversations and not be worried about, does my hair look weird, does my makeup look weird. Practice your makeup and see what it's going to look like on your webcam and on your computer, and not just what it looks like in your mirror in person, because normally when we do our makeup, we're just worrying about what it's going to look like in person, because that's who's looking at us. But since we're going to be on a computer screen, it's going to look a little different. That's something that I have to do when I film my YouTube videos, is I do my makeup a little different than how I do it in person, because how it looks on a camera is totally different than how it's going to look in person. So you might have to add a little bit more blush, or make your eyeshadow a little bit more dramatic, or more bronzer, because your lighting is washing you out. And it might not look amazing in person, but it's going to look really good on the camera or the computer screen. So I would play around with your makeup, sit in front of your computer in whatever lighting you pick. This tip I think is so crucial, and if you're going to take anything from this video, I think this is definitely one of them, and that is to play around with Zoom or whatever website or technology your college chooses to do recruitment through. Let's just say it's Zoom. Get really comfortable with Zoom and how to use it really well. I would maybe Zoom like a friend when they're like at their house, and so you can talk and she can tell you how your voice sounds, and hey, maybe sit here, I like this background better, and you can just get comfortable with playing with it, just so if any technology issues arise during one of your parties, you can kind of fix it and you won't freak out, and then you can make sure you're not going to be late to a party because you know exactly how to use the website. My next tip is to play around with spots in your house or your dorm room, what has the best lighting and like the simplest background. Obviously you don't want anything crazy busy, because then the girls are gonna be focusing on not you, and you want them focusing on your cute self. Make sure you get a good comfortable background where you're comfortable and you don't have to be moving around because you're like falling into your bed. You know what I mean? Like somewhere that's comfortable for you to chill for a while, because you know it's gonna take a while. It's recruitment, it's a long process, but we're also comfortable and it's a good background, and you know what I mean? It's a comfortable spot. Play around with it. My next tip is crucial. Lighting. Lighting is going to be so important, because you don't want to be in a dark room. The girls can't see what you look like. They can't really like make eye contact with you. So I would definitely make sure a window could be a little iffy, because if it's raining or it's cloudy or one of your parties is later at night and it's getting dark, the lighting is going to be iffy. So I would get like a really good lamp that just gives you some good lighting on your face so that they can see your cute little face. Or if you want, a ring light. I'm extra, I would probably invest in a ring light. I have one for filming, but if I didn't, I would probably invest in one. You can literally get them for like $10 on Amazon. You don't have to go crazy and get an expensive one. Either way, a little cheap one is going to give you really good and consistent lighting. I think the one I bought, and I use it every time I film, was literally like $25. That'll be really good, and just to ensure that you have great lighting all throughout all of your parties and all the girls can see your cute face. Next, I would invest in some good wireless headphones. You don't have to get AirPods. There's so many different wireless headphones. But if you're going to have to do this in your dorm room, your roommate, if they're rushing, or even if they're not rushing, they're going to have to do it in their dorm room too, probably right next to you. And that's going to get really distracting if you're hearing their conversation and they're hearing your conversation. I would just get some headphones so you can just hide it under your hair, and you can just really focus and engage on your conversation, and you're not worried what your roommate's doing. Another thing I just thought of, if your laptop or computer doesn't already have a webcam, you need to invest in one of those, obviously. Or I guess you could use your phone. You could totally use your phone. Zoom has it online. Or an app. My next one is your social medias. So since the girls aren't going to get to know you as well as if they were in person, they'll still get to know you well. You're going to talk and have conversations, but it's just going to be a little different. I would go ahead and, first of all, I've already said this, you really need to start cleaning up your social medias if you haven't. But I would go ahead and just start making your social medias kind of eye-catchy. Maybe go have a cute little photo shoot with your friends and post some cute pictures. Like, just optimize the pictures you're posting, make them cute and fun, because then girls are going to be like, oh, I saw this really cute girl on Instagram, because we all stalk people on Instagram. I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. If a cute girl follows me on Instagram, I'm probably going to go look at her account. You know what I mean? Like, that's how everybody is. So, you know, if an active member comes across your Instagram, she's like, oh my gosh, she took the cutest pictures. She's probably going to kind of remember you. And if she sees you during recruitment or one of her friends does, she's going to be like, oh, I saw that girl on Instagram. I thought she was so cute. You know what I mean? So make your Instagram a little eye-catching. I feel like you could do that even if sorority recruitment was in person, but I just thought it was a good way to just kind of separate yourself a little more. And my last tip is to still take notes. I wrote down what I would do for each category. So if you're taking notes after you watch a video, I would write down how genuine you feel like the video is, anything about their philanthropy or sisterhood that you learned, any quotes or particular scenes or phrases that stood out to you, and just overall like how you felt about the video. After parties, I would write down what you talked about, the girls' names if you can remember them, any key points that stood out to you, how you felt about the overall conversation, and how you feel about the house and the girls that rushed you. Any new knowledge that you gain on the house, example like their philanthropy. I just thought of this. If you are on campus, I feel like it would be fun. I would go to Greek Circle or Greek Row, whatever your school calls it, and drive around and kind of look at all the sorority houses from the outside, obviously in your car, and kind of get a feel of what each house looks like and how it's laid out and how the feel and the vibes are of that house. Obviously, it's totally different because you can't go in the house, not all the girls are there, but I just think it would be kind of fun to get a feel of what the house looks like and be like in person next to it. You know what I mean? So those are all my tips on online sorority recruitment.